Well, I think it is increasingly looking that way, yes, that Israel will seek to create some form of buffer zone in southern Lebanon, similar to what they had up until 2000.
And so, how badly degraded is Hezbollah?
Well, I think it's been seriously degraded. I mean, this would appear to be a coordinated attack from Israel against Hezbollah that began a few days ago when the walkie-talkies and the pagers exploded, and then the strike that removed Nasrallah. So really, and there's been other serious senior leaders that have been also assassinated. This has seriously weakened the command and control of Hezbollah to respond in any meaningful way to this current invasion of southern Lebanon.
And has that become apparent in the what some might describe as limited work by Hezbollah in opposition to Israel?
Well, I think it's Hezbollah's ability to command and control and communicate with its forces from its leadership has been seriously degraded simply by the attacks using the pages and the walkie-talkies, let alone the decapitation of senior leadership. It will take some time, I suspect, for Hezbollah to be able to respond in any meaningful fashion. And by that stage, Israel could very well be established within southern Lebanon, making it increasingly costly for Hezbollah to respond as they did in 2006.
So, take us through a bit more detail in what you would believe the Israeli objective to be in terms of going into southern Lebanon.
Well, I think there's a couple of objectives there. Certainly to drive back Hezbollah away from the border and prevent them launching rockets into northern Israel. They've been doing that since the Hamas attacks in October, and that has caused Israel to have to evacuate some of the residents in northern Israel. So Netanyahu, I think, would want to be able to lay claim to be able to providing safety for those civilians to return. I do think that this is a coordinated political effort on behalf of Netanyahu to mitigate some of the reputational damage inflicted upon him and his government by the October 7 attacks. After the assassination of Nasrallah, he can now legitimately claim to have seriously weakened both Hamas and Hezbollah, increasing the security of the Israeli people. And that has really been his raison d'etre as a politician.
And so, how far into Lebanese territory do you believe the Israeli military would go? And what kind would the aim to be establish a kind of no man's land, a kind of buffer zone between the two countries?
I mean, it's difficult to say how far Israel will want to go. I mean, there is Hezbollah now is seriously degraded, so there's the opportunity there for Israel to really do some damage, as in knocking out weapons stockpiles, killing more military leaders, killing more Hezbollah soldiers, and really depleting the organisation or Hezbollah's ability to resist Israel's occupation of southern Lebanon. Maybe 15, 20 kilometres. It's really difficult to tell at this stage.
What do you believe the Iranian response would be to a conventional ground invasion of Lebanon?
Well, I mean, I think that the Iranian response will be measured. There's very little it can do, really. Any escalation by Iran would inevitably bring in the United States, and I think that is something that the Iranian government has been wanting to avoid at all costs. Its response at this point has been, in many cases, tepid, and really demonstrates the strength of Israel, the strength of Israel's intelligence, and the strength of Israel's military when it comes to any other state actors in the Middle East apart from the United States.